How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in this video I'm going to review a wireless keyboard which I got for myself because I actually needed one like this. So this is the Logitech K830 right here. Before we get into this video, if you're looking for a wireless keyboard with a touchpad at the side, let me go over some options. There are some other options which are much cheaper than this, and I'll show you it over here. So if you have a look at this, you have the K830 on the right and you have the K400 Plus which is on the left. And the only difference between these two is, well, not much. I'll just go up to the top, and this keyboard costs about, well, £21 right now. Now, if you look at the K830, which will cost you just about £100. So K400 Plus or the K830. Now, let me go ahead and do a review on this keyboard and talk about why I got this instead of that one. Okay, so this is the K830, and like I mentioned, you can get a really cheap keyboard which is pretty much the same as this, just for a very cheap price. So why did I get this keyboard? Well, first off, why is it even expensive? Why does it cost so much more than the other keyboards which are similarly priced? Well, it's actually quite simple, but first let's get over with the unboxing. I mean, I actually got this refurbished. The retail price is about £100, which is, for me, if you ask me, is really high for something like this. But I got this refurbished for just £45, which is really worth it. Well, okay, the other keyboards are 20, which then this is almost double the price if you get this refurbished. I got this from eBay for about 45, and it may be double the price, but I think it's worth it. So because I got this refurbished, I didn't get this in the retail packaging. So what I'm gonna do is tell you what I did get. So I got this keyboard itself, obviously, and then you get this Logitech unifying receiver, which I'll talk about in a bit. And you also get a micro USB cable for charging, and then on top of that, you also get the I think it's a 2-meter USB extension cable. So if you're having problems with the connectivity, you can plug this into the extension cable and move the receiver closer to the keyboard, and that should get rid of that. But I haven't needed that, and this works perfectly fine. And I've connected this to the PC that's under my table behind a couple of boxes, and it doesn't seem to have any problem with the connection. So let's talk about the price range. So this costs £100, and you can get a similar keyboard, pretty much the same keyboard, for £20. So why is this keyboard so much more expensive compared to the other keyboards? And the answer is actually quite simple. This keyboard is in its own territory, and by that I mean, if you're looking for a keyboard, a wireless keyboard with a mouse touchpad at the side, you can get it for £20. But what this keyboard has, no other keyboard has in this market right now, and that is backlighting. And that's why this keyboard costs so much. Now, it does have some other features, but I haven't really dived too much into the software side. I think you can program this. Let me go on my phone again. So I've got the manual right over here. If you get the software for this keyboard, which I didn't get because I don't think I need one. I mean, I didn't need to use it for anything special. But with the software, you can adjust the touchpad experience, and you can control the speed and everything of it, or you can even disable the mouse tap. But you can also customize the function keys. So it has the function layer over here, and you can customize that. Now on the manual also, it does say that I've been experiencing something with the touchpad over here, and it's a bit annoying. With the left click and the right click, you can't really tap the touchpad to actually activate those two. And it does say in the software that you can change something like this, but it doesn't say in the manual that it does these two. You have to press the left and right buttons to actually activate the two clicks. So I'm not sure if that's to do with the manual, how this was set up by the user that had this before. But it isn't a problem with me. I've actually gotten used to using it like this, and I think it's much better than using a tap and stuff. So no problem there. Now it comes with this unifying receiver, and basically this receiver can be programmed to connect to multiple Logitech devices by using only just one. You don't have to use any more than just one receiver. So that is really nice. I don't have any other Logitech wireless stuff like this, so haven't been able to test that out. But you can get the software and you can change the function keys that are over here. So let's take a look at the keyboard itself. I'll go ahead and turn it on. The turn on button is right over here, and then there's another button which I think can also be programmed, but default I think this is the right click, and when I first plugged this in, it was the right click, but now when I use it, it's the left click. So that's a bit funny. And it's really nice to use it with two hands like this. Press the button, and you can move the mouse, and it's really nice. The touchpad isn't the best, but it's really smooth, and I think it's because I've increased the sensitivity on Windows, and I don't know what it is. If you do increase the sensitivity in Windows, it does tend to just start messing about a bit. It's kind of jumpy. I don't think it has anything to do with this touchpad. It's just bad software on Windows. Windows is a really bad software, I mean operating system. But when it was low on the sensitivity, as in when it's on medium, this was perfectly smooth, and there's a really nice touchpad over here. It's really nice. It's not the biggest one. I think it's about 3 inches or something, but it's really smooth. I really do like this compared to the laptop I use, which is really nice. So if you look at the keyboard close up over here, I can get this in focus hopefully. Now you've got the shortcut buttons over here, which have different functions. So you've got the Android home buttons and the menu buttons down here. You've also got the search and all these other buttons. We've got media playback buttons, and these are really nice and useful. But the problem is, if you're going to use this with Windows, which you're obviously not going to, because this, if you look at the back over here, it does say it's a illuminated living room keyboard K830, which it does say right over here. So maybe you're not supposed to be using this with Windows, but I was using it with Windows. I'm doing digital art, and I want to be drawing and then have this on the side, which is wireless, and I want to have it looking nice, because I don't want a wireless keyboard in a really tight space. I mean a wired keyboard in a really tight space, and this suits that perfectly. But one of the things I don't like about this is the function buttons. The F1 to F12 are actually on the function layer, and so when I want to close an application, I have to press this function key, then the Alt F4 button, and it kind of get a bit annoying, but I haven't really had a problem with it, because obviously I have a bad habit of working around every problem that I come across, which can be looked at as a good thing. So let's turn it on. So the switch on is over here, and you can see the lights come on, and then bam, there we go. So there it is. That's the backlighting. So I'm really pleased with this keyboard, with the backlighting and the way it works, because all the backlighting is pretty much even, like it's perfectly even, no problem there, and does to conserve battery life. I think after like 2 or 3 seconds it just turns it off. Now this is a refurbished keyboard, so I don't know if this has anything to do with the actual product, but when it's on a dim backlighting and the capacitor is controlling the battery to use it less, it's actually, there's some coil wind going on this side. That's because the battery is on here. When it's on full brightness, that disappears, that goes away, so you don't hear that. So as you can see, the backlighting is gone off, and you can turn it back on again. And the backlighting control button is over here, so I can press it to go on the brightest, which is actually quite nice. You don't need it super bright like a 3000 nit display, and you've got medium and you've got off. So you got 3 settings. Now it also has, if you can see closely, it also has a light sensor, so it actually automatically adjusts the brightness. Now I've had this one problem, which it just starts flickering the lights, and that's when it gets confused. I mean, it has to control the lights to a point where it's not too bright and it's not too dark, and instead of being able to control it, it starts flickering them on and off. And you can actually fix that by doing this and turning the light back on again, or just changing the brightness. That's just one of the problems, but it's obviously nothing bad. Otherwise, this keyboard is pretty much perfect. I mean, it's in its own territory, that's why it's expensive. You can get this for £100. Luckily, I got it for half the price, and that is just because of the backlighting. Now, another thing that I've been pleased with is the typing experience. These keys are actually quite mushy, but mushy in a good way. They have a decent travel, well, then it's not mechanical, and it also doesn't have kick up stands, but it does have these rubber feet, which are like extra grippy, really grippy. I'll just focus on it so I can put this keyboard down again. But the typing experience is actually really good. I'll actually move the microphone to the keyboard and I'll start typing. Obviously you can still hear it if I'm talking, even if the microphone is pointed towards me, but I'll just move it. Oh, you can hear the coil wind. It's gone and it's on. There we go. There you can hear the coil wind. but it's gone. Honestly, it hasn't really bothered me. This room, for some weird reason, because it's snowing outside, is brightly lit enough. I don't need the backlighting on, so I can see the keyboard keys really nicely. But in the dark, it is really nice to see the keys, and I'll talk about that when talking about it in a living room. So here's how it sounds when you're typing on it. Alright, so the typing is actually really nice. I do like how the keyboard feels when you're typing on it. It's not too smushy, but it's kind of tactile at the same time. Now when you're using this with Windows on a desktop, which is obviously you're not meant to do that, but I do that because that's what I got it for. It actually turns the backlighting off after a minute or so. After a few seconds, and that's if you're not pressing any button, but it can be a bit annoying. But this is intended to be used in a living room, and that's when it comes to watching videos, media consumption. Then it's really good. You find something to watch, and you go on it, and then it just turns the backlighting off automatically, or just dims it down, which is really nice. And for that, it fits in perfectly fine. But for the desktop, the backlighting does go off, and that can be a bit annoying. Since I do digital art, I tap the button, I wait for it, and I do something, and all of a sudden it's gone off, and then I can't see the keys anymore in the dark. So that can be a bit annoying, but honestly I don't really see this as a problem. I can just leave that off. Oh wait, you can't see that. I'll just turn that back on. Another thing I don't like about this is the caps lock. There is no indicator here to tell you if the cap lock is on or off, so that is really not nice. And another one of the things I don't like, but every other keyboard manufacturer I think gets this wrong. The function layer, the red keys over here, they are not backlit. So, and because when using this with Windows, you've got the F1 to F12 keys up on top, they are actually not backlit, and so you can't see those. So that is really annoying. I don't know which one is the F4 key or something, because they're all symbols, isn't it? Now over here you also have the power key over here, so you can press function and then power, and I don't know what this actually does. And then you also got the Bluetooth key, which I'll start the indicator to put it into bind mode to look for a signal. And this actually works with Bluetooth. If you go on the phone and pull up Bluetooth, this keyboard will actually pop up over there. So it works with Bluetooth 4 as well. I think it's 4 or maybe 3. And well, my phone is 4, so it just should pop up on your latest Android phones as well. So if you can connect this with Bluetooth, that's good. But you also got the unifying receiver, which is what I like to use because there's no hassle. And when you're turning on a device, it has to automatically connect. Maybe it doesn't sometimes, so just to avoid that, I use this receiver, which is really nice. So let's talk about the LED over here. So the LED is lit up green when it's connected, and when it's blinking, that means it's looking for a signal. I haven't got it plugged into anything, so whatever. But once it's connected, it actually turns off. And when it's red, that means the battery is low, and I think it starts blinking when it definitely needs a charge. In terms of charging, I don't know how long it takes to charge, because I haven't really run out of battery ever since I got it. It says it's rechargeable, so that is good. I don't think the K400 Plus is rechargeable. You might have to put AA or AAA batteries in it, which is definitely a deal breaker. I don't like that, so I definitely haven't been using any keyboards or anything. I've just been trying to avoid you having to use AA or AAA batteries, because it's just a hassle, and I think it's more of a waste of money. You can't really tell whether the battery is charged or not. If you're using USB cell, then it's a different. But in this case, then you got a rechargeable battery inside it, which is really nice. The battery lasts I don't know, 10 months or something. It says it's definitely long. It just hasn't run out. It hasn't even gone onto the red bit yet ever since I got it, and I don't even know if it's fully charged when I got it. It probably takes about 3 hours to charge, but that's fine. Honestly, it takes a really long time to run out of battery. Overall, I really do like this keyboard, especially the typing. I'll just turn it off for now. The typing is actually really nice. I'm quite surprised at how comfortable this is to type with. And when you're using this in a living room, you can have it in one hand, maybe type, or you can have it on the lap and then type. and then obviously use the mouse as a touchpad thingy to control your PC. But just the last thing I want to talk about is gaming. I don't recommend this for gaming. I don't think it recognizes up to 4 inputs, because I've been having a problem with this stupid Minecraft not registering something. But definitely, obviously, don't recommend this for gaming, because you can get a wired keyboard or even a wireless mechanical keyboard. And if you think about gaming, why would you want a touchpad on the side? You want to get a mouse. So yeah, not recommended for gaming, but everything else, I think this is really nice. By the way, did I tell you these feet are really grippy? They grip insanely. It's insane. Not on this kind of surface, just off on the table, even wood table. It just grip is really good. So I guess that's it for this video. If you have any questions about this, you should actually try to look for a cheap price like I did. Don't get this for 100. I don't think it's actually worth it for that much. I don't think any keyboard in this kind of range is worth it for that much, but it obviously has its own quirks. I mean, you've got function keys over here, so you can use Android TV boxes. Boom 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 boom. I press that and they open up Chrome, so on Windows. But yeah, I don't think you should get this for 100, but if you have to, then okay, definitely go for it, because it's gonna last you a lifetime. It's the only keyboard you'll ever need, because obviously it fits that living room situation perfectly. I mean, it's got backlighting, so you can use it in the dark when watching movies, and you've got a touchpad on the side, and it lasts long and everything, and it's rechargeable. You have to look out for batteries to replace. So I'll end the video here. If you have any questions, anything I missed out about this keyboard, let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you again in another video.